This is the first time I've actually picked this thing up. It feels like pretty good. What were we talking about that we wanted to film?
We were talking about prophets and if they know something or what they can be.
It's just like the movie Matrix, or like some of these movies of superheroes and other stuff and superpower and flying and who the villains are, the bad guys. Unless someone sign on to KYYBOA specifically, and we don't reveal that because of the privacy of our members. You know, it's well known in conspiracy theorist circles that Kennedy warned about secret societies, but I mean, he did say that, but that was kind of like, it was a reverse psychology statement. He also knew that he was part of a secret society. So I think people are not really in the understanding to know really why they killed Kennedy or why Kennedy got himself killed. It was all part of the plan, you know. He was almost like a political martyr. So I'm not saying anything that bad about secret societies in general. As he said, it's true, they're repugnant, but you have to understand why people do it. I'm not saying how many members we have. I'm not even saying that there's one. Am I being purposely vague just to be vague? No. There's a reason why I use these techniques, so that only the elect will understand. It's not like an intellectual thing they can really understand or get educated in college, or, you know, it's not your typical common sense. It's more like wisdom. Wisdom will tell you whether or not I'm making any sense or giving you any signals or signs of what's happening. Okay? Wisdom is going to tell you that. And everyone else is the enemy until they get signed on with you, until they join, until they connect like that. But you can treat each other with trust just in general, because there are a lot of somewhat good people. And because of that, you can go through this world, this society, and you can trust people to the extent that you can order a coffee, you know, or you can get a taxi. You know, all these pleasant things that are considered civilized, cosmopolitan. We have a certain amount of trust with all those good people, but really good, that's when you can step out your door and you can know your neighbor. You can really know your neighbor. You can just really know your neighbor. That's a little bit high. That's like putting my heel up on someone's head, my head, the height of my head. And I'm over 6 feet, so I need to stretch out the mind and the physical body. The mind is a mental body. The body is a physical body. Why do they call the body a body when it can be different things? It can be invisible or it can be solid, but it's a body. Why don't our bodies be called a mind? A physical mind and a mental mind. That's why you can tell that materialism is predominant in the language. That's why we use it. People don't even know the simple difference between phenomenon and noumenon. People don't know the difference between Kyyboa and not Kyyboa. Us and them. They don't know, but that's my job to explain it. I've taken 10 years, 20 years, 30 years. I'm going to take 50 more years, 100 more years, and people will get it. People will have the truth, but most of them will not do the right thing with it. Some of them will, though, and that's what counts. The people that do use the knowledge properly, that's what's up. It's not about the people where it fails. We're not dwelling on whether the cup is half empty. We're dwelling on whether it's half full. You can look at reality with pessimism or optimism. Just accept reality first. Don't take any view on it. That's called not being attached. It's a Buddhist technique. But after you've mastered that, you have to realize that there is good and evil, and we do something. People who don't understand that there's good and evil, maybe there is, maybe there isn't. It's all ambiguous. Not ambiguous. It's just, the word arbitrary. You make arbitrary rules as to what's what in the world. No, there's a very defined duality. When you experience what's good, you have to therefore admit to it, identify it, and say, that's good. Okay. And then if you're honest and you're not being ridiculously philosophical or pointlessly rebellious, you will say, I want what's good. And then you say, I know what's bad now. I don't want what's bad. That's the definition of it. Bad is what you don't want. Good is what you do want. However, I said it in reverse. Really, the first thing that you learn is what's bad. That is why we show children what the heat is, the burning heat, so that they don't get burned. But then the higher principle is, how do you walk on hot coals? How do you walk through fire? You can't learn that first, though. People that don't understand that, they're not masters. They're jokers. Society is insane. They do not face reality. They like to be sarcastic. Sarcastic is whenever you don't obviously accept reality. It's when you just switch the definitions, or when you joke around about it in a very immature way. It's actually a form of wittiness. Quick wit is not really good. It's almost as bad as being sarcastic. Having the reverse definitions of things, being slang talkers, saying if something's good that you like, you go, that's bad. I've always been really keenly aware of what kind of minds do that thing, with twisting reality, not facing it, trying to be sarcastic. It's because they have an illness, they have a weakness. They don't really like to face things the way it's supposed to be. Kyyboa doesn't have to do with that. So when you listen to me, I'm giving you all kinds of information, and eventually people will be able to decipher all of it as to see what the lessons are in this. And as you pass through all the lessons, then a blessing's on you, and you will join up with us when the time comes. But for now, I'm just a pioneer with it, and I'm very busy. It's always been a very difficult life, but that's what I signed up for. And I'm very inspired by the humbleness of Moshe, or Mahushua, who brought the law, Lalei, or Torah, word Tanakh, or Pentateuch, or people say that Joshua wrote those books because that was his assistant. How else could he write about his own death? Well, he had a scribe. So, my life is really difficult, but I'm here to call on people, like we started off the subject here, as the prophet, and being the founder of Kyyboa. That's what I'm always thinking, being, doing, planning, and perfecting by the power of the Almighty, the Most High God, the most fearsome God, the ruler, who is Hashem to you. But if you're holy enough and respectful, you can call on Adonai. Adonai, Adonai. He is my ruler, my superior, my supreme command. Eloi, Eloi, Eli, Eli, which is sometimes used as a male name in Hebrew, Israel. We're making a new Israel. And on that note, I'm going to end the video.